So how many of you were here a month ago to hear Ryan Sawyer share his transformational story? Raise your hand. Well, you're in a treat today because Heidi Sawyer is going to be doing her transformational story right now. Please come forward.
When we hold on to or resist healing the painful parts of our past, we unconsciously invite the same experiences again. I was really good at finding shiny new distractions. Shopping, redecorating, exercising, and dieting were my escapes of choice. I used to go through waves of obsessing about my body and how I looked, and then my attention would shift over to my home and trying to find the perfect decor or some other project. But no matter what I changed, I was never satisfied. On the outside looking in, I seemed to have it all. A loving husband, 2 beautiful children, a new home, and a great figure. On the inside, my heart was closed off, I had low self-esteem, and I was taking for granted all that I had. I was so focused around how I thought the world needed to be for me to be okay, that I couldn't even see that my marriage was falling apart. I had no idea that my husband was suffering in silence the lifelong battle of depression and anxiety. I was withdrawn from him, and he had found himself in an emotional affair with a supportive friend. I was devastated to discover that this pattern of infidelity from my prior marriage was repeating again. Perhaps there was still a lesson I needed to learn here. Could it be that the way I'd been living my life and my refusal to let go of the past was creating more of the same for me? One day, feeling drained and overwhelmed, I walked into a church alone. I heard the song playing, a song I'd never heard before, I Surrender. Without even thinking, I put my arms up into the air, I closed my eyes, and I felt the music. Here I am, down on my knees again, surrendering all, surrendering all. I felt a release of tears and emotion flood over my body. As I was driving home from the church that day, I saw a graffitied sign that I had seen many times before, only this time it was painted over, and the words read, "You are loved." It was divine timing. This was the first time I truly felt that God was real, and there was a presence in my life that was greater than myself. Ryan and I continued to struggle in our marriage, going to couples counseling, which only drove more distance and tension between us. Until one day we stood across the kitchen from each other, wondering if we had done everything we could to save our marriage, and if it was even worth saving. We made an agreement that day. We were going to work on ourselves individually to heal and grow if our marriage would ever have a chance. I knew that meant I needed to learn to forgive, which would only be possible if I learned to love myself first. So, searching for answers, I started to read personal development books, and I quickly started to realize that this voice inside my head, this inner critic, and this person that was tearing me apart in front of the mirror was not actually me. I was the consciousness inside listening to this voice, this programming, and this false conditioning. And if I ever wanted to make a shift in my life, I had to stop running the same repetitive programs over and over again. So through the revelation that I am not my body and I am not my thoughts, I found freedom and I found truth. I found forgiveness for him and for myself. And today our marriage is stronger than ever because of what we've been through and not in spite of it. We found a deeper connection to God and to each other, which ultimately led us to find unity in this wonderful community here. I've learned many lessons along the way, but there are a few I'd like to highlight for you today. First, healing a relationship takes working on ourselves individually. It takes looking at the dark and shadowed parts of ourselves, those parts that we've been keeping busy, trying to avoid. Placing the blame and playing the victim will only drive you deeper into the mud. If you truly want to make things work, you have to first take full responsibility for cleaning up your own side of the street. And second, if you're in a place in your life where you feel like you need to change everything on the outside to find happiness, just stop. Because no matter what you change or what you do, you will never truly shift until you change your ways of thinking and being. And finally, finding love and compassion for yourself is the path to freedom and forgiveness. Releasing the pride and the ego and understanding that we are all just human beings searching for love, happiness, and connection. If we choose to see those who have hurt us as a mirror onto our own unhealed parts, we will find compassion, forgiveness, strength, and love again like never before. Thank you.